Okay guys, so in this video today we're going to talk about penalty kicks. We all know how important penalty kicks are. We know how important they can be when a penalty kick is saved, how the momentum of a game can change, and the psychology of both teams can change. So being able to save a penalty kick or give yourself the best opportunity to save a penalty kick is a very important part of your game. It is a skill set, no different than catching, no different than diving, no different than goal kicks or breakaways. It's a skill set that must be trained. So today, we're going to teach you how to do it. Let's start from the first moment that a penalty kick is awarded. Rule number one, under no circumstances should you approach the referee and argue the referee's decision to award a penalty kick. It's not going to change his decision. It has never changed the decision in the past, and a goalkeeper arguing with him is never going to change his decision in the future. You have a big moment coming up for you in which an opportunity to save the penalty kick. You need to make sure that you're both mentally and emotionally present. All right? So leave the arguing of the decision to the field players. The field players, let them argue it. For you as the goalkeeper, go step off to the side of the goal, collect yourself mentally, collect yourself emotionally, and prepare for this moment. Okay? The biggest thing that you can do mentally for yourself, number one, is we all have this kind of interior dialogue inside of our brain, this little voice that we talk to when we're thinking things out. Maybe the little voice talks back to us, whatever. That voice needs to be turned off. Inside of our brain, we must be totally quiet. No thought process, no interior dialogue, no cheerleading for ourselves. Come on, I can do this, this is my moment. Shut it down. All right? The brain must be totally quiet, totally silenced, totally centered mentally and emotionally. That's our first thing. Once you've got yourself emotionally calm, once you've got yourself mentally quiet, you've taken your time off to the side of the goal, maybe 30 seconds, maybe 60 seconds, however long it takes you. All right? Next thing we want to talk about is where do you position yourself in the goal? All right? If I'm a goalkeeper, I want to position myself dead even between the two posts, center of the goal, absolutely center. Now the rules state that my feet must be on the line at the time that the kick is taken. It does not say which part of my feet must be on the line at the time the kick is taken. This is a very important point because in terms of success with saving a penalty kick, success is going to be measured in fractions of inches sometimes. All right? So it's very important that you understand that as long as the backs of your heel are touching the very front part of the line, all right, that's where you want to be. You want the very backs of your heel to touch the very front part of the line. You do not want your toes on the line because now you're giving away, depending on the size of your foot, anywhere between 7 to maybe 12 inches. All right? 7 to 12 inches will absolutely be the difference in terms of whether you're able to get to a ball. Now that you've got yourself in a good position, width-wise, right in the center of the goal, you've got your back of your heels on the front of your line, comes the next moment. This is very critical here. You see a lot of goalkeepers throughout the world, and some of them are very recognizable names. All right, you'll see a lot of different techniques in terms of like Edwin van der Sar, trying to make himself look big by standing up tall. You see a lot of other goalkeepers wanting to move because the rule states that you can move side to side along the goal line. All right, so you see a lot of goalkeepers might be moving side to side. All of them are bad ideas. Here's the reason why. In the moment, it's very important that your feet are set on the ground, set meaning stopped, and number two, that the body is in balance. If you're moving side to side here at the time that the kick is taken, now your body is out of balance. The feet, one foot, may be up in the air slightly and not fully set on the ground, which means that the body is out of balance. All right? In the saving of the penalty kick, not only do fractions of inches make the difference, but also thousands of seconds. Those two combined together are always going to be the difference between success and failure. So it's important that when you get your feet here, that you take a nice, low, coiled perspective here, nice, low, coiled stance, and keep it still. At the time that the kick is taken, the body must be perfectly still with the head forward and the weight on the front thirds of your foot. All right, from the toe to the shoe, the first line of your shoelaces. That's the next. Okay, now that we're positioned correctly, now that our body is still in balance, we're prepared, coiled, ready to explode either left or right. Now we got to talk about what it is that we're looking for. There are a lot of goalkeepers throughout the world, a lot of different ideas in terms of, should a goalkeeper guess, just pick a side and go? Should a goalkeeper wait for the ball to be struck and then go after a ball? All right? Number one, you never ever want to guess. You might as well just flip a coin. Heads or tails. Maybe you get lucky, sometimes maybe you don't. But there are things, tips that you can look for that will help you as a goalkeeper decide which way the shooters are going. The first concept is you never ever want to look at the eyes, because the eyes can always lie. You never even want to look at the head as a whole, right? Because the head can turn. You see Ronaldinho, best players in the world, where they look away passes, so the head is useless, right? It's an indeterminate factor. It can throw you off. But there are a couple of things that the body must do in order to accomplish the task that it's trying to accomplish. And these are the keys that we're going to teach. Your perspective as the goalkeeper, there are a number of things that you want to be looking at in terms of body mechanics. We already stated that we don't care about the eyes. We're not interested in where a player looks. We don't care about the head and which way the head is turned. There are other things, a couple other items that we're not really interested in. Number one, the majority of players are right-footed within the sport, myself included. So we're going to work from this from the perspective of facing a right-footed player. In terms of your approach, the approach that a shooter may take, it doesn't matter. We could care less. And a shooter can come from straight on, a shooter can come from way out wide here, a shooter can come from way back here, a shooter may start from here and take a short approach. He may come in fast, he may come in slow. None of it matters. It's irrelevant to us as the goalkeeper facing the penalty. One moment matters. There's only one key critical time that matters. And the moment is this. When the shooter, plant foot comes down and the kicking leg is coming down. All right, the kicking leg has gone back and is coming through. There are two things, all right, that are going to be obvious to us depending on which way the shooter is going. Let's say the shooter is going to your left, all right? If the shooter is going to the left, well, a couple things have to happen. Plant foot comes down, leg swing comes, and the inside of the foot must open for the right-footed player to go there. Body mechanics dictates it. It must happen. The player cannot lie about this moment. Now, the tough part is you will have about 1,000th of a second to read it and respond accordingly. All right? But in this moment, you can see that the foot is open, the knee is open, hips and shoulders are facing that side. So if the player is going to come up, want to go there, he's got to open here on the downswing. Has to open. So that's the number one point if the shooter wants to go to your left side. Now let's talk about if the shooter wants to come to your right side. Totally different option. Here, the shooter has decided that he's going to go to your right side. He comes up, the plant foot comes down, the leg comes back, and on the follow-through, now he's closed off. As opposed to being open, where the foot is open here, the knee is turned open, hips and shoulders are turned open. Now, the foot will be closed here, all right? The knee will be closed. It's not open anymore like he's going to your left. It's closed down now. Hips and shoulders are now facing here. So if you can take a snapshot, a little picture of the moment in a freeze frame, you want to see everything from the ball up to the shoulders. Just the ball up to the shoulders. And that's it. That's the top of your picture. Okay? Those are the two things. The body dictates that this must happen. You cannot lie. He's going to go there, or he's going to come there. Okay? These are the two options.